Hello everybody, Reggie Time here, and we're just going to have a random video of looking at some hands I played on a pretty crazy session on Unibet last night. The games weren't that great, they were like regulars everywhere, but there was just a couple of absolute whoppers kind of littered around. So we're just going to look at pretty much all the big pots I played. I think the only big pots I played that I didn't record were the ones that ended up just being chops or whatever. But all the big pots that I won and lost are in here. I think there's 12 hands, could be less, not sure. It's just going to be a quick run through. They're not going to be particularly strat heavy. It's more just a matter of like, look at these big pots I played, rather than look at these big pots I played and let's analyze them like super aggressively and like super detail. You're going to like some of the lines, you're going to not like some of them, whatever. It's not about that. It's just about just making a quick video and looking at some big pots. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do. Please keep hitting the likes and the shares and things. It does help me grow the channel slightly. I'm not aiming to monetize it, but I just want to, just like a little hobby that I'd like to make it bigger and bigger and bigger. So if you could help by liking and sharing, that would be very much appreciated. We're just going to whiz through these hands. I'm not expecting the video to be too long. There's 6 minutes of footage. I don't envisage me pausing the video too long either, so shouldn't be a huge video. We get 3-bet, we defend the King 10 suited, which I think is marginal, but okay. We flop a second pair with a backdoor flush draw, standard corner flop, turn a flush draw. He bets pretty big, not in love with it, probably shouldn't fold though, and we don't, otherwise it would be quite a boring first hand. And then on this river, everything bricks, he goes all in. I didn't like it, but at the same time, I'm like, well, I guess we have some Queen X that wants to call this too. 10X is going to be like right in the part of my range of do a call, do a fold. If I knew something more about the player, then I would go one way or the other, but I didn't know much about him. And I elected to make the call this time. And we were lucky that he had the busted draw rather than the stronger made hand. Money, he was the reason my session lasted for as long as it did. He was quite the player. There's going to be 3 or 4 hands with him in this video, and he was quite the guy. We isolate him with the ace queen. He leads out, we raise, we think it's completely standard. We don't have to raise, but we obviously raising is completely fine. He calls, we bink the turn, he checks. Knowing what I know about him now, I would just have jammed here, but I didn't know that at the time. I didn't know he was quite the whale he was, so instead of jamming, I decided to go with the payment plan option, and he pretty much jammed for me, so it's all good. And he had the pair and the flush draw, which he probably thought was the nuts, but sadly for him it wasn't. Here we are with the 8-7. We were kind of freestyling with this one. Let's see if any of you get the joke. If you get the joke there, if you get the freestyling reference, then let me know in the comments section. I took an unorthodox line here. This Bomb River guy, he was a pretty standard regular. He was playing across 3 tables. He wouldn't have known I was a regular because I always on Unibet have 4 tables up with 4 different aliases. So I knew more about him than he knew about me. He'd been like exercising pot control quite a lot. He'd been checking back, playing, just looking to play lots of small pots. And I didn't feel like I wanted to play a small pot here with my good shot on my flush draw, so I elected to take a far less standard line. I went with the C-bet, thinking if he just calls, we have a ton of equity, we can barrel turns. If he raises, we can 3-bet and get it in. I just liked going with the donkey. It just felt like a good spot to go with a donk bet. I'm not too worried about having to balance it because we're an unknown. We're only at 1 table. I don't think we need to be concerning ourselves too much with being balanced at this point, and I just fancied playing like a big pot and just being a bit unorthodox, so we went with the lead 3-bet jam. I mean, let's face it, it doesn't look like we're super strong here, but I would probably, if we're doing this, and we're going to get our money in with against over pairs, and we can do it with all our sets and the random 2 pairs that we have too, I guess. Who cares? Anyway, the money goes in. How bad can it be? We bink the turn. Happy days. Glory, glory, Bomb Funk MC. Happy, happy days. This is another donk bet hand. Our friend Monet's in business. He's 4x'd it. He was using all kinds of different pre-flop strategies. We flop the world against Monet. We donk for value. Monet min raises us. We 3-bet for value. Monet calls. On this turn, I think I made a mistake. I should just jam for value here against Monet's worst 10s against his pocket pairs, because he wasn't the type. We had a mid hand. He wasn't folding. Maybe at this point in the session, I still wasn't fully up on my reads on him. Had this hand happened at the end of the session, I would just have jammed this turn for value. As it happens, I decided to check and just call it off. Give him a chance to bluff. He wasn't bluffing. He had us absolutely crushed, and he shipped a €50 pot. Good for money. And here against Doug Polk, who's obviously some kind of regular. His name's a play on words of Doug Polk, so yeah. Clearly regular just by his name. Very, very boring hand. We flop top set. He calls. We jam the turn. He calls. And it was a wonderfully exciting set over set, but we were on the right side of it and we shoot €57. So, again, happy, happy days for us. We have the ace deuce here. We just min raised. Probably should have made it bigger, but I think Monet was doing a lot of like shitty small 3 betting. I mean, I guess I could have limped this. I could have 4x'd it. Could have min raised. It didn't really matter. It was just getting a pot with Monet basically, which is what we did. We flopped top pair. Monet leads out. We just call. Turn 2 pair. Monet leads out for a much bigger bet, and I think I could and probably should have raised here. Against Monet, he could definitely have worse hands here. Worse aces for absolute sure. Like just 1 pair type hands. I think I definitely should have raised here. We didn't. Rivers 6-7 gets there. Sorry, 6-5 gets there. He hadn't been playing like gut shots and shit like that in this way, so I wasn't worried about straights really. He leads out for like 80% pot, wherever that is, and I think I made a mistake here. I think we should definitely have raised this. I elected to just call, and thankfully for me, I didn't raise, and we didn't give full stack value to the 5-3 offsuit. Here's Monet again. This time is limping. We're raising. We are flopping top pairs. We are going for a check raise against Monet, I guess. Which we did. Monet calls. Presumably, I don't remember this hand. Presumably, we're just shipping the turn. Monet calls, and he had the jack 5, and he got there. This was Monet's MO. Monet did not give a fuck, and Monet kept getting there. It was how I made money this session, I do not know, because it was intensely frustrating at times. Probably another boring hand. We have 2 aces. We 4-bet. We get called. And I remember this one now. And I just decided to open jam this flop. And he's not folding pocket kings. He's not folding queen X. Whatever. We could go for a small bet, I guess, and then just hope he just like calls it down and jam the turn. But I decided to try and monkey rep like ace king here or something here. So we went with the overbet jam. This fuckwit, and I'm going to call him a fuckwit because he slow rolled me. Tanked and tanked and tanked and tanked and tanked. Turned the pocket 10s over. I was fuming until that happened. And then I thought, get in there. Vindication, baby. I did my little Mike Matasso vindication baby dance. And it's just a shame there's no chat box, because he did proper slow roll me there. And I would have liked to have given some needle after that slow roll, but I didn't get a chance to. Don't recall this hand. And now I do. All pretty standard so far. We get check raise on the turn. I'm not loving it, but at the same time we have trip 10s. What are we going to do? We're certainly not going to fold. Although I don't think I'd be super thrilled about calling any like huge river bombs. Unless we make quads, of course. Then we can bomb away. Katie can bomb away to his or her heart's content. Katie now checks, which makes you think Katie, at best, has like a flush maybe, that just now kind of obviously hates it because obviously flushes lose to any pair and what have you. I just went for that really small value bet, just try and get called by Queen X, get called by like lower pocket pairs that are full houses, and obviously like by flushes too. Kind of thought she might just have some random nonsense as well, and that just might spew and jam. So I went with the small bet, and Katie turned up with the ace-3 offsuit, which I'm not really fond of how she played the hand, or he played the hand, but however, we just crack on with it. None of my business how people play. Ace-king. Don't recall this one too well either. We went with a pretty big, well, not a massive 3-bet, but what that is, 11 big blind 3-bet. We get called by this Oscar, who was another guy who seemed to be VPPing close to 100%. We flopped top pair, happy days. Calls, we just ship the turn, I guess. He calls with 7-9 suited, and we hold. I'm not really sure why that one made the cut, but whatever, it did. Two aces again. Thoroughly exciting. Did get a lot of aces, didn't I? We got a lot of big hands. Flop a full house. Do a lot of checking, I think, this hand. I'm going to do a lot of checking. And remember, we decided to just overbet by now and just hope someone's going to got like the case ace sort of pot controlled, maybe backed into a flush, maybe hit a queen on the river or something. Matt's also decided it was time to put the min raise in. We obviously put the rest in, and I think Matt was stunned when his ace-6 wasn't good. Oh, another aces. Another aces hand. We go with the 3-bet. And then him just open ships it. Well, the 4-bet ships it. And we get it in against the 3-4 offsuit. Which is never an unpleasant thing to do. And we win. So there we go. They were all the big hands I played last night. As you can see from the start of the video to the end of the video. And I started even earlier. It was about a 3-hour session. If we count the Sky session before, I put a 5-hour session, and I haven't put a 5-hour session in for a long time. I only do it when there's players worth playing with. So clearly last night was a super fun session for me. I didn't end up making that much in the end. I think we made about €50. But whatever. Hope you've enjoyed the hands that have come from it. I've enjoyed looking at them again. Hope you guys have enjoyed it too. And we'll be back who knows when with who knows what. Bye for now.